Democratic Politics, Paul Science book, chapter number 2, Federalism, last part, Decentralization in India. Federal governments are those that have two or more tiers or levels of governments. But for a very vast country like India, two tiers of governments are not enough. A vast country like India cannot be run through only these two tiers. There are some states in India which are as large as independent countries of Europe. In terms of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia and Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. Here you can very well see that one is a country and the other is a state. Here, states are even larger than countries. Many of the states that we're talking here are internally very diverse. People speak different languages, they believe in different gods, and they have their own distinct culture. There is a need for power sharing within these countries. The federal power sharing in India needs yet another tier of government, and that is below that of the state governments. This is the rationale behind the decentralization of power in India, and this has resulted in the third tier of government called the local governments in India. Coming on to the concept of decentralization, at a very, very basic level, decentralization means that the power is taken away from the central and state governments and given to a local government. The basic idea behind decentralization is that there are a large number of problems and issues which are best solved at the local level. The local people know their problems the best and know the solution for that. People have better knowledge of problems in their own localities. They also have better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things more efficiently. Besides, at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making process. When the people are directly involved in the decision making process, when they're able to take decisions for themselves, it helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. People feel happy, they feel that they are wanted, that they are needed for uh, being able to form the government. Local government is the best way to realize one important principle of democracy, and that is local self governments. Once again, repeating the definition of decentralization, whenever the power is taken away from the central and state governments and given to the local governments, it is called decentralization. A major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy, that is the local self-government, maybe the Panchayati Raj or the municipal corporation, municipal committees in the urban areas, more effective and powerful. Even though the Panchayati Raj institutions, the village panchayats, the Zilla Parishads, they were functioning till 1992 also. But all of a sudden, in 1992, the government enacted out an amendment, and in 1992, it became constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections to local government bodies. Now we're going to do the provisions of the constitutional amendment of 1992. Even though Panchayati Raj was there even before 1992, it was not very effective. Now it is also compulsorily constitutionally mandatory to hold the regular elections for local government bodies. A lot of people were not able to vote for their own heads or sarpanch in the village panchayats initially because the panchayats were being dominated by the elites or the social classes who had money in their hands. Seats are now reserved in the elected bodies and the executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and even OBCs. At least one third of all positions are reserved for women. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct the panchayat and the municipal elections. The state governments are required to share some of their powers and revenue with local self-government bodies, the nature of which varies from state to state.